Coach Tony, Risling Podium Performance, and today is the start of a new training cycle, which I've been looking forward to getting away from the 6-12-25 and a rest week last week. So in this training cycle, it's going to be typical hypertrophy style lifting in terms of the rep ranges and the loads being used and the rest as well. But I'm going to start off each workout with what's called an over warm-up set. So in that, instead of doing a typical warm-up and then getting into the working set, which is going to be heavier, my last warm-up set is actually going to be heavier than my working set weight. So this is, in theory, is to prime the nervous system to be able to handle the working set weight at a higher weight and have my type 2 muscle fibers, the big, stronger ones, be already activated instead of them really getting turned on at the end of a set. This way they're being used earlier in the set so I can handle more weight and potentially for more reps. So that's the theory behind it. Is it necessarily always going to work out that way? I guess I'll see myself shortly here in this training cycle. Today's going to be leg day, which means back squats is going to be the first thing on the menu. So if you like this type of content, as well as other stuff I'll put out, like the information on creatine, the technical breakdown of block analysis for sprinters, please take a moment now to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Anyways, it's time to hop into the warm-up. Regular back squat, always start off empty bar for the warm-up. The reason for that, your body's not primed yet. Get things going. I'm working on the motor pattern more than I am on the weight with this. Just here. Treat every rep, even the warm-up, like it's a max rep. As I'm still warming up and getting ready before I get into the over warm-up, I'm still warming up with the same kind of protocol as before. Running shoes before getting into the lifting shoes. Making sure everything feels good. Good breath in at the top. Brace, down, and up. So 225 pounds is actually going to be what my working weight is going to be. So I'm still going to do a warm-up with it, and then I have one more warm-up, the over warm-up. Then I'll drop back down to this, and I'm going to be going for sets of 10 to 12, 3 sets. So I'll also pair that up with prone leg curls over on the unilateral leg curl plate loaded. Over there, I don't really need to warm that up so much because as I'm doing squats, my hamstrings are also warming up as well. And the general warm up I do before actually even lifting does get the blood flow going, warms things up, and gets the hamstrings also activated with the leg swings and different things I do to get warmed up. If you want to see a video on my actual pre-lifting warm-up, especially for leg day, let me know in the comments below and I'll drop a video on that. Anyways, now into the second last warm-up set. So 225, nice and easy. Okay, so for the over warm-up set, I'm doing 275 pounds. I like to do about 10 to 20% above what the actual lift is going to be when I'm doing hypertrophy work. I personally find that range kind of wakes me up in a way. So that's why I go, you only really need to do 5% and up above what your actual working weight is going to be. And you're not looking to fatigue yourself. You're just doing one rep with it. It's just to kind of get things going. So don't be doing warm-ups with like 4, 5, 6 reps. You're warming up, you're priming the nervous system, you're going through the motor pattern. Just do one rep with the over warm-up, and the sets before, as you saw when I was warming up, I'm only doing a couple of reps. I'm not going to fatigue myself. I'm just getting things going. I'm warming up. I'm not doing the workout. Don't impact your workout performance by fatiguing yourself in your warm-ups. Too many trainees do that. Even too many trainers do that. They do too much warm-ups, and then next thing you know, their squat performance is dog shit. I'd rather have decent squat performance and a meh warm-up than have an amazing warm-up and a crappy workout. So here we go with the over warm-up. All right, so how I'll do this is I'll just put each set as a side-by-side. So set 1, squats and the leg curls. So squats, aim for 12 reps. Just really focus on keeping things nice and stable, keeping it so that torso stays as upright as possible so I can really focus on the quads and glutes doing the work instead of the low back. Every couple reps there, I felt like my feet just were in the wrong spot. The leg curls, I'm keeping everything dorsiflexed. You'll notice the left leg lags ever so slightly behind the right leg. That's just multiple hamstring injuries on that leg from past doing track and field, as well as just my own stupidity at times when I was younger. But it just doesn't have the same kick as the right leg does. But it is what it is. You still push through, and the great thing with the unilateral leg curl is I can load up each leg individually so that it can then stay as strong as the other side, and I can work on that imbalance issue that I have. And then we get into the second set, really focused still. Like the squats, they just felt pretty good overall. 3 sets of 12 with 225 pounds. When I was doing the 6, 12, 25, I was doing that the whole thing with 205 pounds. So basically 10% increase. And after doing the over warm-up, the weight just on my back felt light. Like you kind of stimulate your system with the over warm-up by having a weight that's much heavier than what you're going to be doing. And it just feels a lot lighter on your back after that because you've already kind of jacked yourself up in that regard. I'm noticing the color balance here. Much brighter at the back of the gym compared to the front of the gym after color correcting this. And then, yeah, we get into the third set. Yeah, so this third set, the squats, overall, it just felt good. Like, I was actually expecting these to feel worse. And the third set actually, in some ways, felt better than set 1 and 2 did. It just felt like I was rock solid throughout the rep. There, yeah, I was a little too wide with my feet, so I brought my right foot in just so that it was a little bit better. 3, and then you kind of notice, like, on the leg curl, what I'm really trying to do when I'm doing the leg curl is keep my hips down. I don't want them shooting up as best I can because then the low back's kind of kicking in a bit. The glutes are doing some of the work that I don't want them to. I really want to focus on getting the hamstrings to do the work. And overall, these 3 sets went pretty well. That last rep needs work on the leg curl. Okie dokie, so now we got some lunge walks. I'm just doing it in sock feet just because I don't feel like tying my shoes. I'm lazy like that. But I'm doing 25-pound dumbbells in each hand. I'm going 12 per leg. I'm not doing it like the 6, 12, 25, doing 50 total steps. I'm done with that for a while. That was death by self. All right, so now I'm going to be doing a superset here of doing lunge walks with 25-pound dumbbells. Yes, I'm just going sock-footed just because I don't feel like tying my shoes so that they stay on my feet. And this way I got a little better kind of biofeedback just from the turf. I'm going to be pairing this up with dumbbell RDLs where I'm going to actually wedge my foot so the ball of my foot is actually going to be elevated. So what this allows for is a little bit better stretch through the hamstrings as it keeps my ankle in a little bit more of a dorsiflex position, which then reduces the amount I can actually bend my knees, forcing me to keep a little bit better position and really get that stretch through the hamstrings. So I've got 12 per leg with the walking lunges, and then I'm going to be doing probably 15 to 20 reps with the dumbbell RDLs over there. And I'll chat as I go here. So one thing I'm focusing on when I'm doing these is getting so that I'm pushing my hips forward as I'm walking. Trying to get nice depth. Oh, my left toes kind of hurt after dropping the garage door on them. So with walking lunges, you don't want to actually be hitting your back knee on the ground. I see that too often, especially CrossFit-wise. They like to smash their knees. Great for orthopedic surgeons, not great for your joints. And I should have counted, but I'll just go back to my starting position. So with RDLs, you want to keep a little bend in the knees, but you're not trying to bend them so that you're doing a regular deadlift. So slight bend, go until the flexibility gives, then back up. I find with dumbbells, you get a little bit of range. By having the weight in front, it allows you to actually get more loading on the hamstring. Then at the top, squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the glutes at the top. And everyone's favorite friend in the world. This is the third set of the lunge walks. I just recorded the first and the third set. Figure don't need to record every single set. But these, using 25-pound dumbbells, they felt good overall. I'm really just focusing each step, making sure I'm pushing the hips through. So go one way 12 steps, then start going back the other way just so that I can keep things evened out. As I'm doing this, what I'm focusing on is making sure that I'm stepping through on each one. And yeah, it's just not the most fun exercise in the world, but boy, does it ever help with the thighs. Then we get into doing the kind of ball of the foot elevated RDLs with the dumbbells. So here, I'm just really focusing on not locking out the whole way and just keeping the hamstrings kind of loaded up. And now I see that, yeah, the camera is pointing down a little bit. That's kind of dumb on my part, cutting half my head off. But the focus here is on the hamstrings, not on the upper body or anything. So one thing that I do here to keep it so that it kind of keeps the focus a little bit more on the hamstrings is, you notice I don't actually bring the dumbbells to my side at any point. This allows the load to stay a little bit preferentially pulled in front of me so that my backside has to do a little bit of work no matter what. All right, so now I'm going to be doing heel wedged lateral step up or side step ups. So what this really focuses on is in and around your VMO, the vastus medialis obliquus muscle, the teardrop muscle on the inside of your knee of your quadriceps. The reason why this kind of focuses more on that is, if you take a look right now, if I'm standing right here, my knee is well out in front of where my toes are. So that muscle is responsible for keeping the knee stable when you're in this type of position. And it's the same as when you're doing like a full lunge or a split squat and you're at the bottom of a deep squat, whether it's back or front squat or an overhead squat. So this kind of isolates it a little bit more, or just preferentially recruits it. So I've got 5 rises on here. I haven't done these dedicated wise in probably a year. It's something that's pretty much a staple in almost all my clients and athletes' rotation, just because it's a good remedial to help keep things kind of structurally balanced. And yeah, I know that I need to do a little bit of work on them. So that's why I'm doing them. I'm going to be doing no weight the first week doing it, just 2 quick, easy sets. The big thing when I'm going and touching the ground, I'm trying to keep the foot that isn't doing the work dorsiflex so that just the heel touches, so all the work is being done by the top leg. A lot of times people kind of push completely off with the bottom leg. This way, by keeping the foot dorsiflex and keeping that bottom leg nice and locked out, there's less chance of that happening. But as fatigue kicks in, it's probably going to happen. And right now my legs are a little on the tired side, but I'm going to be focusing on this as much as possible, just keeping hands on my hips and really focusing on it. So in order to scale this, you can also just go, like I'm just using a wheel chalk. You get this at Walmart, Amazon. But to scale it, you can just change the angle of your foot. The higher up you are on the wheel chalk, the harder it's going to be. The lower down, the easier it's going to be. You can scale this to the ability as well as by raising and lowering how high the step is. So I'm just going to go keep the ball of my foot still touching the actual aerobic step, and we'll see how these go. So just going 10. Ooh. This is also a great way of testing some stability in and around the knee. Oh boy. Oh boy, I'd be shaking. Whoop, should not have looked down. And also when you're setting this up, turn the wheel chalk out like 10-15 degrees. All that's really needed. Now I'll give you a shot of my arse. A little shaky on this leg. Spoke too soon. Now some weighted horizontal back extensions. Just grabbing a 45-pound bar. I'll just hold this up behind my neck.
doing this a couple of months ago as well. These feel great. Set of 15 here. Hardest part's just getting it up there.
Okay, so that's everything for today's leg workout. It was a little more difficult than I actually anticipated. That's partially because last week I took a rest week completely, just no lifting, just did some conditioning work. So the legs weren't really under me for the squats, so I started to feel it there, and then the fatigue just kind of accumulated. That's to be expected, to be honest. Plus, new program, first time going through it, it's always going to be a little tougher, especially when I'm keeping a little more strict rest intervals. And I was aiming to go like a 3-second eccentric on my squats and the leg curls and being a little more strict on that. So that leads into a little bit more cumulative fatigue, keeping control of more of the variables. My post-workout is going to be the usual leg day post-workout. It's going to be 2 scoops of ATP Labs grass-fed whey, a half scoop of the Green Smithers whole food mix, 5 grams creatine monohydrate from Clean Athlete, as well as about 20 grams of pentacarb from ATP Labs as well. So if you'd like to get 10% off an order from ATP Labs, go to the link in the description below, atplabs.com, and use code RISLING10, that's RISLING 10 at checkout. This is good in both Canada and the US. If you like this type of content as well as the other stuff I put out, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Anyways, Coach Tony, Risling Podium Performance. Go get after a good hard leg workout today. It's Monday, get it over early in the week. Risling Podium Performance, embrace your potential.